Today on Ask FHU, ball placement. What's up with that? And why do we care? Stay with me. Hi, I'm Keely Dunn of FHumpires, and this is Ask FHU. Today's question is fueled courtesy of everyone's favorite global hockey podcasters, Matt Allan and John Lee of The Reverse Stick. Now, if you haven't been tuning in to their podcast recently, they have a World Cup daily that is going out, and it is full of hockey knowledge, lots of entertainment, some great commentary, guest spots from Ernst Bart of Studio Hockey, and I would highly recommend you take that in. I've got links posted below, or just go to your favorite podcast purveyor and search for The Reverse Stick and you will find them. You won't be disappointed. Trust me. Back on day 5 of the World Cup Daily podcast, the topic of umpiring came up with Matt and John, as it occasionally does. And they rightly pointed out that the umpiring performance of the third team had been fantastic. They did have a little bit of a question, though, as to ball placement and why certain situations were being handled by the umpires in a certain way. Their comments went like this.
I'd say the other thing that annoys me is getting the free hits taken where they've actually occurred, because guys are getting 5-10 metres advantage. They're getting called back. They move back a metre and the umpire says, okay, play on. Well, hang on, if you're going to blow it and you're making a point of bringing the ball back to the point of the offence, actually get it back to that spot.
Exactly, and I'm sure Keely Dunn will help us out with the official rule there when she can, but I was under the impression that you can't play on from in front of where the free hit took place.
No, it's got to be at the spot. Yeah. So, because you've got 5 metres, your defending side have got to give that 5 metres. Well,
that's right.
If you've come 2 metres forward and they're 3 metres away, then they can be infringed for it.
So the rule itself that we're dealing with is 13.1, and I would highly recommend you go out and you grab your FIH Rules app on your Apple or Android phone, or you can just find it generally on the internet by downloading them in PDF format from fih.ch. Now, Rule 13.1 says that the location of a free hit has to be taken close to where the offense occurred. Close to means within playing distance of where the offense occurred with no significant advantage gained. The location from which a free hit is taken must be more precise within the 23-meter area. So, as it's explicitly pointed out in that rule, just like with everything else in the rule book, except for maybe out-of-bounds plays, everything is about advantage. Does it negatively unfairly affect the opposing team? If it doesn't, umpires, we should stay out of the way. So in the spirit of that, let's look at the precise questions that Matt and John had. The point of bringing the ball back is not necessarily for the ball placement to be correct. It's so that it doesn't unduly disadvantage the opposing team. So when we're enforcing the rule, the most important thing isn't whether the player has gained a certain distance geographically. It involves a complicated reading of spaces, player proximity, passing lanes, and timing. So when players take off like a shot with the quick self-pass, they hear that dreaded double peep on the whistle that stops them in their tracks and they're looking skyward. They know that right at that moment, that the space that was available to them, and very likely that space that was available due to a numerical advantage, that is now gone. As soon as they have to stop and bring that ball back, the defense has the opportunity to get their numbers back in front of the ball and to organize their defensive structure again.
Here's the ball. Looking for an option now. Germany will attack down the sideline and they'll get the hit as well. Raya just getting in banned position.
You have to be 5.
They're really enforcing that 5-meter rule, and they won't be afraid to give out cards if they're not adhering to that with the players.
So this clip is a good example of what John and Matt were talking about. Here, the foul occurs probably about 5 meters back when the ball goes off the defender's foot. The defender backs up a good 5 meters at least from the spot of that foul. Meanwhile, the ball has traveled forward. The attacker picks it up in front of the center line and then starts to take the self-pass from there. The umpire properly stops the play and gets it brought back. That way, you don't have the defender being penalized for potentially starting to defend from within 5 meters of the ball. We all know that that would be grossly unfair. The next question that John posed was whether it's actually a rule that a ball can't be taken in front of where the foul occurred. It isn't. That's not really the determining factor. It just so happens that that often creates a disadvantage because the fact is the play is flowing in that direction. However, there's times, like in the following clip, where the free hit is awarded in one position and the ball's taken actually off to the side, and that opens up a passing lane that shouldn't have been available.
Here goes the VAR. This is getting open now. And Kelsey Smith calmly earns the ball back for New Zealand.
It just shows how important this is for the Dutch. 3-0 up and yet still diving just to save a ball from going.
The situation we certainly don't want to see on the pitch, especially at these higher levels where the cameras are rolling and the fans are packing in the stands. What they don't want to see is the umpire interrupting play to bring the ball back to closer to where the foul occurred, the player not quite getting to that spot, and the umpire double whistling again, bring them back, the player doesn't quite get there, double whistle again, double whistle again. Nobody likes that. And if it doesn't make a difference, why are we making a big show? We're just getting in the way. Let's not do that. So to John and Matt of the Reverse Stick, and to all of the rest of you out there, I hope that gave you a little bit of insight into this nuance about ball placement. If you have any other questions or comments about this, or if there's something else that you've seen at this World Cup in India and you'd like to press my brain about it, I would love to hear from you. You can find me just about everywhere on the socials at FHumpires. Drop me a comment, send me a DM. I would love to hear from you. Until next time, I'm Keely Dunn of FHumpires. Thanks for watching.